Welcome to Thursday Mat Works. It's April 16th. And we'll just start by standing with our feet shoulder width apart. Tall but relaxed. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. And we're just going to start with some shoulder rolls back. Roll the shoulders back. Nice and easy, and just notice how that motion drives your breathing. And then start doing arm circles backwards. Big range of motion. Get the shoulders opened up. I'm going to start out with a few more layers on until I get warmed up. I've completely turned off the HVAC systems in this place because it's kind of silly to heat and cool all this square footage when it's pretty much sitting empty. So with this cold weather, we've been dropping down into the mid-50s in all the rooms. All right, let's reach it up, stretch up tall. Exhale, fold forward. Reach for the ground. If you can't touch the ground, make sure you have something bridging that gap. And bend the knees and roll it up. And as you come up right, start to roll the shoulders forward. Again, just let your breath connect with the movement. I finally figured out how to turn on the Do Not Disturb function on my phone, but then I went off and left the Do Not Disturb function on for hours and missed some phone calls, so then I turned it off and I forgot to turn it back on for this class, so hopefully no calls will come in during the class. Big circles forward. Let's do one more. And then again, stretch up tall, reach for the ceiling. Fold forward. Let your head hang, look through your legs, but make sure you still have some support under your fingertips. Just breathe into that folded body and notice how when you're folded on the front side of your body, it creates a need to expand into the back body to find space for that breath. Bend the knees, roll it up again. Oops. Reach overhead, grab that right wrist. We're going to lean to the left side. Left wrist leaning to the right. Let's go back to that first side again. And one more time to the other side. And then bring your hands behind your back, connect them behind your back, open your chest and shoulders, sit your hips back like they're trying to find your hands. Engage your lower belly and the muscles around your sit bones. Our focus today is going to be on our hips and pelvis. Happy hip day. Reach up. So you'll feel even more engagement in the core as you extend your arms away from your body. Bring your hands into heart center. Go ahead and put our weight on our right leg. Cross that left leg over. And then just turn on the axis of your spine to the left. Oops. And then try to sit those hips a little deeper without rounding your back. And then press that leg straight, take your hands up, circle them behind, connect behind your back, open your chest and shoulders, fold at the hips and knees, reach back with your hips, reach up through the arms, Shoulder blades squeezing toward the spine. Lift up again. Engage your lower belly. Engage the muscles around your sit bones. Pull your hands into heart center. This time we're going to stand on our left leg, cross the right leg over, and then rotate on the axis of our spine. Turn your ribs toward the right side. Continue to reach back through your hips. Keep your back straight, back neutral. Breathe. Come back to center. Uncross, take it up. Arms out to the sides, widen your stance. And then bring your hands on down. Forearms come together, press up the midline. Spread those fingers. Just, again, that movement with breath. Movement through the upper body, rooting through the legs. Let's do that one more time. And then slide your hands down the outside of your thighs. Find the floor, either using a block or your hands on the floor. And we're just going to alternate bending one knee and then the other. If you're really having to round your back or collapse your spine to reach the floor, just come up and just gently rest your hands on your thighs. Try to have a fairly wide stance. Again, we're just limbering, mobilizing, and moving. And then come back to center, wide-legged forward fold. And then soften the knees, press your hands into your thighs as you tuck your tail under and unroll your spine. Forearms meet at the midline, flow right on it toward the ceiling. Circle out. So inhaling as they travel upward, exhaling as they come down. So we have a lot of movements around our hip joints. There's flexion, which means you're bringing your thigh closer to your torso on the front. Extension, which means squeezing your thigh backwards. Taking your leg out, bringing it into the center. And circular motion. So a lot of ways to move in that hip joint. Bring that back down again. This time we're going to turn our right toe all the way out and come into a runner's lunge toward that right side. And then we're just going to dip that back knee down and then push your front leg into the ground. This is another place where you might be better off having a little higher torso position. And you don't have to actually touch your knee if that's too far down. Just, listen to your body. And then come back to that lunge. Walk your hands back to center. And then we're going to come across to the other side. Turn that toe out. Same thing. There's where even one block can be helpful. We're just going to do knee dips on that back leg. Lightly touch. And then push into that front leg as you come up. Dip down. Press up. Dip down. Press up. Dip down. Press up. And then return to that lunge. Walk your hands back to center. Bend the knees slightly, press into your thighs, unroll your spine. And again, forearms up the midline. Find that flow. Inhaling on the way up. Exhaling as you come down. All right. So bring your hands up. Keep reaching upward. We're going to turn our whole torso toward the right side. Square your hips up to that right wall. Right leg's in front, left leg's in back. Bring your hands to the thighs. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slide your hands down the leg. When you feel that muscle tension, take a breath in. And then exhale again and see if you can go deeper. And then bend your front knee. Lift your hands up, come into warrior one. Reach up, root through the feet. Slice your hands through, press that front leg straight, and we're going to hinge out of the hips. So you want your spine parallel to the floor, your feet like they're trying to slide apart. Now if you need support, you can brace your right arm into your leg, and then try to reach that left arm across and the right arm back. And there's lots of options here. Do what's best for your body. Keep a little tiny bend in that front leg and your quads engaged. We're going to bend that front leg and come into warrior two. Widen your stance. Come back to center. Let's go back, go around to the other side. Bring your hands to the top of your thighs, your hips, and your body are facing the left now. On an exhale, slide your hands down until you feel that muscle tension. Take a breath in, and then go deeper on the exhale. Breathe. And then bend that front knee. We'll lift up into warrior one. Pressing your front leg straight. Slice your hands through as you hinge out of the hip and flatten your back parallel to the floor. Support with that left hand on the left leg if needed. Option of reaching across with your right arm. Keep breathing. Engage your core. And then we'll come out of it by bending that front knee and cartwheeling into warrior two. All right. Let's come back. We're going to do the same thing again, just a little bit different this time. So start out the same way. Hands to the top of the thigh. Inhale at this point, and then go down on an exhale. This time, see if you can open one of your arms. Come into triangle. It's not important to get the hand to the floor. It's more important to keep this bottom side of our body lengthening out from the hip. And then squeeze into your legs as you come up. Bend your front knee. Make your way into warrior two. So you'll probably have to adjust your feet. So we're going to connect with those hips a little more, at least what they're feeling. When that front heel is down, your hips are pretty much locked down as well. So lift your front heel and then just kind of shift your hips around. Move that back foot a little bit, make some adjustments. You may find a better placement for that back foot, and then put the front heel down, root to the ground. Feel the muscles all the way up into here, engaging and supporting. And then we come back to center, around to the second side, left side. So we'll start out the same way. Hands at the top of the thigh. Exhale and slide down. When you feel that stretch, this time we're just going to open up into triangle. Another place that a block may come in handy. Blocks are tools. So feel free to use them. Hold that and breathe. And then we're just going to bend that front knee, lift up into warrior two, adjust your foot position. And then go ahead and lift your left heel off the floor. See how that frees your hips up. Shift them around. Feel that movement. Adjust your back foot. Find a better place. Put the heel down. Certain foot positions are going to make it feel like you're jamming your thigh bone against maybe the edge of the hip socket or the edge of your pelvis. You'll notice that. Our hips and our pelvises vary tremendously. And then come back to center. And we're going to make our way on down to the ground. All right. So have a seat. Let's roll those legs a little bit just to do a little more mobilization. And we're going to start off with, we're going to get those happy hips out of the way. I know when I teach this class in person, everybody's kind of like, okay, when is she going to throw this in? All right, so let's go ahead and point both of our legs to the right side. So we're going to do this, kind of lead into it a little more gradually today. So we're going to start by keeping the foot, the big toe on the floor, inside the big toe on the floor, and just take that knee. Notice what you feel. That range of motion may feel really natural and good for some of you. Some of you, it's not going to feel very good at all. So don't worry about trying to get that leg high. 4 more of these. 3. Engage that core. And 1. Now we're going to lift the whole leg. Here we go. It's up and down. 2. Hands on the floor. Or 1 off. Or both. 6. 7, and 8. Now we're going to sweep it across. 4, and I've got my foot flexed. 3, and 2, and 1. Put that foot back down. Push the inside of the knee against the floor. We're going to actually lift our hips up and set them down. So this is activating an opposing muscle group. Which takes some of the stress off of the muscles we just used. All right, quick stretch. Bring that leg across, either inside the knee or across the knee. If you go across the knee and you have to tip over sideways to get there, or contort a lot, then go ahead and keep it here. You want to feel the stretch in the hip. And then we'll undo that and point both our knees to the left. Same thing again, you want to sit tall. At least be rooting into that left sit bone. Your right sit bone is going to be a little elevated. And just kind of, it's kind of like we're waving with this knee. Up and down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Whole leg up and down now. Options, both hands down. 1 hand up, both hands up. 4, flex the foot. 5, 6, 7, 8, sweep. 1, and 2, 3, last one, and 4. And then put that knee down, push into the inside of that thigh, hips up and down. So you're using this leg pushing into the ground to help lift the hips. 3, 1 more, and 4. Okay, bring that leg, again, inside the knee or across. Now I can come across very easily on this side, other side not so much, so you may be the same way. One side's got a different range of motion than the other. Just observe. All right, come off of that. We're just going to roll the knees side to side. And they come into a sideline position. So knees are bent. You want your head supported so that it's fairly in line with the rest of your body. And we're going to mix the order up on this today. We're going to start by just doing a big pedaling motion. Sweep it. 2. And I just got my hand on this top hip to make sure that it is staying put. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now bend that knee, flex your foot. If you have a wall behind you, imagine you're trying to leave a footprint on that wall. Push back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bend the bottom knee a little farther, straighten that leg. Now we're going to lift and lower. Extended clamshell. 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bend the knees. We're going to do that rotational clamshell. Knee down, toe touch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and 8. All right, put your hand in front of your chest, put yourself up, Pull your bottom leg underneath. Hang on to the edge of your pelvis, and we're just going to roll through that pelvis 4 times. A little mobility again. A lot of little muscles under there that can really tighten down, so we want to keep the mobility going even though we're working them at the same time. Swing those legs across, other side. So you want a little bend in that bottom knee just to stabilize so you're not going to literally tip over. But we'll start out with that big circling motion, pedaling motion, exaggerated legs circle. We'll do that first. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Bend that knee. We're going to reach back, squeeze your glute to touch the wall behind you or something. Just reach behind you. 3, 4, 5, 6. It helps to have a target. 7 and 8. Bend that bottom knee a little more. Extend that top leg. Lift and lower. Again, you want to put your top hand on your top hip to make sure it's staying put. 3, feel your bottom leg brace into the floor. 4, 5, and 6. Engage your core. 7 and 8. Bend the knee. Toes touch. Knee touch. Toe, knee. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and 8. All right, put your hand in front of your chest. Sit up. Pull your bottom leg through. Come the rest of the way up. Hand on that hip, that side we just lifted, and just rock the pelvis. Even if you haven't just done a hip series, this is a nice way to loosen up tight hips. All right. So we are going to go ahead and come onto our back. And I probably should have given you more of a tip off, but if you have something to put between your legs with this, it would be helpful today. A block is great. What we're going to do is we're going to lift and lower our hips, and all the pull is coming from the outside. So our legs want to kind of open up when we do that. So if we put the block in there, we can counter that outward pull with some inward pull. So that's the thinking behind the block. So go ahead and grab something if you have it. If you don't, just be aware of your legs trying to open out. And we're just going to lift and lower the hips. Here we go. Push into the heels. Whole foot on the floor to start. Lower down, barely touch. Squeeze it up. Barely touch. 3. If you do have something between your legs, really squeeze it. 4. And 5. And 6. 7. One more. 8. Hold it up. $100 bill between your cheeks. Keep squeezing. Go, go, go. Lower down. Bring your knees in towards your body. Take whatever you're holding between your knees out. And then put your feet back down. So we're going to go to a single leg lift here. I'm going to start with my right leg lifting and my left leg extended. So my right glute's getting the bigger load here. And again, just don't worry about how high your hips go. It's just engaging those muscles. 2 and 3. So as your hips are up, feel like you're trying to slide your foot away. Engage your foot with that mat. 6, 7, and 8. Hold. Breathe. It's kind of hard when you can only squeeze one side of your glute. All right, bring it down. Pull that left knee into your chest briefly. And then we're going to extend that leg up. Do the hip raise now with the left leg driving the whole motion. And go up, lower down. 2, and again, engage that foot. 3, and 4. Keep breathing. 5, 6, 7, 8, hold it up. Don't let that right hip drop. Try to keep your hips even though you have no support under that right side. And lower down. Left knee into your chest. Let's hug both knees. We'll do another little mobilizer here before we come off our back. Left leg is straight. Use your hands to circle that right leg 3 or 4 times each way at your own speed. Switch sides. Again, 3 or 4 times each direction, just at your own speed. Switch directions. And hug your knees. All right. So we're going to do some Pilates here. We'll still engage our core and try to press our spine down, belly button to the spine, ribs toward the belly button. But the movers are going to be our hip flexors. So hands either under your hips or behind your head. And we're just going to do leg slices. Simply legs alternating and slicing. And 3 and 4. Modification if you need it. Bend the knees. 6. Again, do what's best for your body. And 8. All right, so we're going to lower one leg down at a time. Lower, lower, lower. Hold. Again, if you need to bend the knee, do so. Take it up. Lower, 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 and hold. Don't let your back lift off the mat. And take it up. Again, other side. And lift it up. You decide how far down to go. If you can't keep your back down, then take the leg back toward the ceiling. And up. And up. Lower down. And up. Let's do one more on each side. Lift it up. One more. And lift it up. All right, quick knee hug. So we'll finish with some inner thigh action because the muscles that bring our legs together, the joint involved again is the hip. So we're going to resist today. So I'm going to put my hands in between my thighs. It can be whatever feels best for you. I'm going to use the back of my hands and just have a little active resistance here. So I'm going to push my hands into my legs and it's like I'm prying my legs apart. And then squeeze together, but resist through the arms. And again, pry it apart, engage your core, squeeze together. It's up to you how much to resist. Nobody knows how much you're resisting except you. Squeeze together. Even if we were all in the same room together, I can't tell by looking how much resistance you're putting into those legs. Open. You can even do the side of your hands. Let's do 2 more. Squeeze, resist. And then we're going to surrender on the last one. Open, close, and then open. Take away that resistance, just support now. See how wide your legs open when they're not hitting the wall. And hug it into your chest. Hang on to the back of your thighs and tip all the way up. Okay. So we're going to come back around to all fours and do some glute work here too, hip work. So we're going to be on our forearms, back flat, belly pulled in, flex your foot. We'll start with the right leg, and we're just going to lift that leg and then cross that leg, that knee over the left leg, and then bring it out to the side. Left leg, out to the side. Left leg, out to the side. 4, out to the side. 5, out to the side. Use your core to anchor those hips. 6, 7, 8, hold it here. See if you can kick it out. 2, 3, 4. Doesn't have to be high, just straighten that leg. 6, 7, and 8. Ooh. All right. Come back up, pull the hips back. I'm going to turn around so I won't kick the wall. Same thing here. Forearms, belly tight. And then flex that left foot. And we're just going to squeeze it up. Bring the knee across the right leg. And then out. 2, out. 3, and out. 4, and out. 5, and out. 6, 7, and 8. So I've got the knee to the side, and I'm just going to kick it in and out. 2, it's going to angle to the ground, probably because of our body angle. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Pull those hips back. Reach out with your hands. Okay. So we're going to be a little higher up this time. I'm going to turn back around again. Let myself have some room to kick out this leg. So, belly in. And you can even walk those hands out a little bit in front to take some of the flexion off your wrist if needed. Extend that right leg out. Lift it up. And we're just going to circle it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse your circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, just out to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and 8. Wag your tail a little bit. Other side. Longer lever. When the leg is straight, the leg feels heavier. Here we go. Extend that leg out. Circle it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then take it out. Everybody defaults to a certain direction when they circle their leg, which feels very natural. And when we switch directions, you may feel really awkward and uncoordinated. It's very normal. 4, and 3, and 2, last one, and 1. All right. March those hips. We're going to stretch our hip flexors while we're in this position. So bring one leg forward. Scoot forward so you can get a little backward angle of that thigh if possible. And then reach up. Really extend out of the rib cage. Breathe. And then shift your hips back, press your chest forward. This becomes more of a hamstring, back of the leg stretch. Angle your toes in. Let's switch sides. Really stretch, reach that front foot out. If you can shift your hips forward and get a little backward angle on that back leg, do that. Make sure your tailbone's trying to point down instead of reaching back. This is all in the pelvis. Let's exhale, bring our hands down, angle your toes in, press your chest forward. And pull it through. All right, let's do a little hip swing again. And we're going to finish off today with kind of a variation of a side plank, but we're going to lift our hip. So, and get that upper body support. Now you can, keep your top leg bent like that if you need to, but if you can straighten that top leg without collapsing your hip backwards, it'll be a good, you'll really feel the weight of that leg when it's extended. So leg comes up, So you're lifting your hips and lifting that leg. 3, squeeze back through the heel. 4, 5, 6, 7, last one on this side, 8, and bring it down. Just swing your legs across or roll over. And we'll get the other side. So again, this one integrates your waist and hips together. It comes back to that idea that nothing can be truly isolated. Same thing here, we're going to lift and raise that leg. Here we go. So up, 2, 3, 4, 5, tight core, 6, 7, last one, and 8. Bring it down. Bring your legs across. All right, sit up. Roll those knees side to side. And we're going to finish with a good cross-legged stretch. So extend your right leg and cross your left leg over. Give your leg a hug. Hook the wrists with your hands, do a little wrist lock. Squeeze your torso into your leg. And then just try to soften and melt that hip. Take some deep breaths, help create space within those muscles, that sense of space. All right, we're going to hold this leg up, support it however you can. Wrap the hand around, under the thigh, or under the calf. But have that leg supported enough that your arm movement can move the leg. The leg's passive. So just move your leg around in the hip socket. Circular motion, back and forth, up and down. Explore what feels good, maybe what doesn't. All right, and then we're just going to come into a half lotus prep. Lay your foot on your other thigh. So my left foot is on my right thigh. Support that leg, and again, just sit up. Now some of you, your bone structure or flexibility may let that leg come down to the ground. Don't force it down. Others of you might feel better with a little extra support from a block. All right, let's uncross that leg, give them a shake. Take your right leg, cross it over your left, wrist lock, hug the leg, bear hug. And then just feel like your thighs lengthening. Just imagine your bone lengthening in your hip, just sinking into the ground. Breathe in and out. We're closing off our upper body by squeezing the leg into the chest. So the breath is going to create expansion wherever it can. And it's going to feel like it's pushing down into the pelvis, which is the area that we were targeting. So. All right, let's support that leg and just move it around in the hip socket. Whatever feels good. Circular motion, up and down, side to side, diagonal. Explore your range of motion. Yeah, my personal, philosophy or belief is the better you know your muscles, your bones, your body, the more safely you can challenge yourself. All right, let's go ahead and come into that half lotus prep. Again, notice where your leg goes, what you're feeling in your hip. If you're having to collapse your spine or arch your back to compensate, what's happening? And then we'll go ahead and uncross let's just finish out with a quick hamstring stretch, staff pose. So pull your toes in, press your chest forward. Even if your knees are bent, as long as you're feeling it in your hamstrings, you're on target. And relax. Let's go ahead and come into a cross-legged position. And just sit up nice and tall. Let's bring the hands into heart center and relax the shoulders. Connect the thumbs with the breastbone. And we're just going to finish with some breathing. Coming back to that breath, that connection, that life force, in and out. Today's thought: control is a dangerous illusion. I have found that my need to control things is based on fear and is a strategy for feeling safe in the world. Today, examine one small aspect of your life that you feel you need to control. Consider your need and what lies beneath it. Then make a decision to let go of controlling it. Breathe as you do. Namaste.